Okay.
We're studying Python and we're looking at list sorting 3. In today's class, all we're going to do is we're going to look at how to solve yesterday's questions. So let's recap. Right? It was a project, right? So let's see how to solve that project. In this project, we're applying everything we know so far.
Now I have 7 more projects to do. It's so annoying because I only got 4 days to do my first project. Literally.
What is the project?
The school is making us do projects for each subject.
Right, I remember I had to do that as well.
But they only 2 days, bro.
So in this project about the omega list sorter, we need loops, we need if conditions, we need functions. Not really functions, no functions. Yeah. But we do need lists as well. So this is all we have done. We're not taking function in this project because that would make it very difficult here. But let's try doing this one. Okay. First thing first, they're asking us that create a program called the list omega sorter that sorts numbers and letters, and your program should have a menu. Let's first create the menu for the program.
I have already made a menu, so I know how to make it.
Okay, okay. Now show me your menu.
It's an epic fail.
And I want you to compare your menu with my menu and see what's the problem.
Okay, give me a second. Let me share my menu. Yeah, like this boy. So then send them this, then choice. Then I wrote choice equals ing.
Okay, but why did you not close the list underscore num? Put the ending square bracket. Okay.
That was some pairing code. Okay. Pairing code, so this is how it works.
Let's run it. So now Now which numbers do you want to sort? Let's take the numbers. Right?
I don't know how to do that part. If I knew how to do that, this homework would have been already done.
Already done. Okay, let's see. Now let's look at what we have done so far.
That's the only thing I don't know.
Okay, so you should know that. Let's first run this guy.
I'm having some healthy beans.
Look at my we say welcome to Omega List Sorter menu, and choose a type of list. This. Which option? We'll just give the option 1/2, and then we'll run this. Let's run it, and we get the option. Fine, perfect. And I'll give the answer as, let's say, 1. Perfect. So far my menu works. Okay. The next thing is I have to, after I've taken the choice, I have to enter some numbers. Let's start from here. Now my job, Aditya, is to, if he chooses the first type, letters, then I'll have a list letters with 5 empty.
I am really dumb because the thing I only needed to know then. I am so dumb. I got this all correct, but I didn't know. I got all of the self choice equals like underscore equals 2 and everything correct, but I didn't know what to put out the 4 index in range. That's what I put.
After 4 index in range, we'll just take for every index from 0 to 5, that's the range of the index. We'll just enter one letter in the list. Let's run it.
That's the only thing I needed.
Now, one thing that's missing is for numbers, we should put int. And the choice input should also be int. Yeah. Let's run this.
I have put them.
Now we'll say which option. I'll say I want numbers, and there's an error. Let's see what is the error. Choice. Okay, the error is this. C is small, not capital. Let's run this. Okay, so option is numbers again. enter number, I'll say 5, 1, 2, 3, and 8. Now sir, the numbers are done. They are taking the numbers. Let's check it for the letters. Now Aditya, so far till here, any questions? Any questions? Now this part right here is only about entering numbers or taking input into list. So we have done
And I
this
forgot
already.
that. This is why I
Yeah.
say you gotta revise.
Revise, yes, totally. Now after this, all we have to do is look at this list. Now so that's done. Taking input. Now what do we do after this? Well, the next thing must be to sort the list. We got our list, let's sort it. Now after this, I'll ask the user again, another choice. I'll say, does the user want to, let's say, descending order or ascending order? Let's do that. Let's run it. Now I'm going to take letters. I'll say letter is A, B, S, D. Now, okay, so that's also asking me about the type of input I want. So that's all right. Perfect. Next thing is, after I've gotten the type of input, what all I'll do is, based on the choice, I'm going to do that sort. So I'll take a new variable called choice underscore sort, which type of sort I want to do. And then I'll say input option. Again, 1 or 2. Now, if the choice is 1, if the choice they want is ascending order.
But I was so stupid and dumb to not write in the first place. List underscore letters index input enter letter, and that's num for num condition. I was that dumb, bro. This is why they say you gotta revise.
Now, so list.
And how can you revise when you have some project on your head?
That's true. That's true. But you have to revise and remember and not forget, because we're trying to make a lot of progress here. Now, the next thing is, in this list, all we have to do is list dot
The
sort.
more you learn, the more you forget. That's one thing you cannot forget.
And we'll say print list. Done. And next thing, if the choice is 2, descending order, I'll just say list dot sort. Reverse is equal to true. And after that, I'll just print it. Now, when I'm printing list, I'll have to say.
You will have to print what? You will have to print the sorted list.
Sorted list is this. In the same way, I'll have to print this again. Copy paste. Let's run this. Now, my program, let's clear the shell actually. All right, yeah. So let's see. Let's run this. Now the program is asking me if I want letters and numbers. I'll say okay, I want numbers. Enter number. First number is 10. In list now, it's list.
I don't know.
I need numbers. Now, Aditya, do you want ascending order or descending order? Which type of sort?
Any order.
Let's try descending order. Option 2. And again, we get an error. How do we solve the error? Instead of choice, it must be.
See, give me a minute.
Choice underscore sort. Now let's run it again. Okay. So I need numbers I'm going to enter any 5 numbers. Now I need descending order.
I am so dumb. All I can remember is the fact that I'm really dumb. Gonna put it for index in right. And after that, the standard.
Right. So the program works now. Aditya, look. So we got our sorted list in descending order. Fine. So this is the code right here.
Why you copying both, huh? So you said you will give me another question like this?
Another question like this, another project. Now, so we have done the sorting of lists, right?
Give me a second to memorize it. So the brain touch anything. Okay, done.
Done. Let's look at another project. Today's project is going to be about question.
Sorry, have you ever noticed my eyes are very open?
Eyes are very open.
Yeah, if you see, when I wake up, my eyes are like always, and then when and if I don't flash my face, it's just like this.
I see.
I don't know. And when I watch my, see, listen, I have no problems waking up at the night, and my face would be like this. I don't know problems. I won't be like this. I don't care because it happens to me every day. So.
I see. I see. I see. Okay. The question is, let's say, create a program.
Create a
for
program that is a very big imposter.
alpha list sorter.
And what's the difference? No, change that alpha to something else. I don't know the alpha. What's the amount to do?
Now this program, your program should have a menu. Should have a menu. Okay. Your program should take, or let's say alpha number sorter. Okay. Alpha number sorter should take user input of numbers of integers into a list called
List.
then the program should ask whether ascending or descending sort.
So it's basically the same thing, but we don't have to ask a thing ask the user if the person wants to sort letters or numbers.
Yes, it's a number sorter. And the program should ask whether ascending descending order, then give appropriate.
Wait, that means a lot of the code will be cut down.
Appropriate output.
Give me a second. Give me a second. I need to think of what amount the code, which code will be cut down.
Right, so it won't be the same code. I can't give you the same answer, but it is called alpha number sorter.
So I won't have to say in the menu choose a type of list. I'll just have to say. All numbers. Sir, I'll just make it more convenient for the person and also still give numbers, or just cut off letters. That's what I'll do. Be a bit more nice.
Fine. Now another program, let's say you have is create a calculator. That
What did you say?
let's say create a calculator called
Nah, you're not going to make me use functions. Come on.
gamma calculator.
Nah. Call it Garaga. Garaga.
And what do we do after this?
Change that gamma calculator to something that I'll write right here. So look. Change it to this.
Use functions.
Sir, change the
And
calculator's name to Garaga. Garaga calculator.
Add,
So yeah.
multiply,
No.
subtract, multiply, and divide.
Four. Sir, change the name to Garaga calculator.
What is the name?
Garaga calculator. I have typed it in chat and right here.
Right, type it in chat. Now these are the homework, but the homework.
See,
actually
I wrote it.
is
I
homework.
wrote it on the screen. I wrote it on the screen. Garaga calculator.
Where is it?
I typed it to the side of that. The side of the
Perfect.
question reading.
So this is the homework. Take a screenshot. Question 1.
Two
And
questions.
question
You gave me two questions.
Now this is main. This is compulsory. This is bonus question.
Okay. So for that, I'll just copy the code I did last time. Efficiently.
Right?
So bonus
Any
question.
doubts? Anything you want
So
to ask?
bonus question is called flat question. We got flat.
All right. Any doubts in this?
And send the notes in GCR. You're not sending notes nowadays. Why?
Because I'm kind of very busy and also not well. But hopefully today I'll send it here.
Send these notes, okay? Send these notes.
Fine. Take a screenshot of the
Okay.
question.
And
Yeah.
also send how to make that. Also the course of how to make that omega distorted in case I forget.
Okay. Yes, I'll do that. So the code is also in this one.
Don't
The code.
forget to send it in GCR. And if I don't do my homework tomorrow,
Remind me in the WhatsApp. All right.
you know what? You better I just take a screenshot. Show me the notes. I'll just take a screenshot. So
Done?
I'll just take a screenshot of the omega list sort of. Thankfully. So my mother wants to talk to you for a second.
All right.
Give me. I'll just save the screenshot. Why not load it? Okay. Save you. Good. Save. That's it. No. All right. Good. Very good, sir. All right. Yeah. So my mother wants to talk.
Hello, good evening, Shah.
Good evening, Mrs. Ajay. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, Niranjana is not at home today because actually because of the marks and all, I scolded her a lot and she got shivering, finger, vomiting, and just pain. So many things happened. So today she went, I know there is a program in school. I told her to join and she went with her friends. Her,
All right.
yeah, physical health is not well. So now I decided let her do slowly everything. Let her learn by herself,
Just your voice is breaking off a lot actually. So please check the microphone if there's a problem.
Yeah, because Niranjana, she has to pay. I scolded her last 2 days back. So after that, she got hypertension, she got chest pain, vomit, so many things happened with her. So then she
Yes,
was admitted in the hospital.
yes,
Yeah, she was
that
admitted
is
in the
very sad.
hospital.
Yeah. How is she
Yeah,
now?
and she's better. She went with her friends. I told her to go. She just told I want to go. I said, dude, just go. But
Okay, so she is gone. Okay, yeah, tell me.
yeah, she has gone. She's outside, and the thing is, actually, sometimes parents will pressurize. uh, In which way it affects children, even we don't know that.
All right. So Mrs. Ajit, can I speak to you perhaps in the evening? Because I have another class right now.
Okay, no problem. I just informed you the same. That's it.
So Niranjana will be absent today. That's what you're saying
Yeah,
because she's gone
Niranjana
out with
will
her
be absent
friends.
today. Right now I stopped pressurizing Niranjana because child is more important than studies.
Yeah, I totally understand. She should take a break today if it clears her mind
Yeah,
and makes her
yeah.
feel better.
Yeah.
All right. And
Okay,
so
sir.
how is her studies going in school?
Studies, it's okay. It's okay.
All right then, no
Okay,
worries.
sir.
All right.
Okay, I don't want to waste your time. You can do it.
That's all right.
Sir,
That's all right. Take care.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I want to tell you one thing. Why the heck
Yes,
is it you go to C drive users and it says
Now in today's class, we're studying
Okay.
English as a first language, IGCSE English as a first language, FLE, and we're practicing article. So article writing practice. Let's look at how this is going to work. So article writing practice. Let's see. Now the question over here is that you have about young people. Let's first make a plan for the question. The first thing you're going to do in the exam is you'll make a plan. That's how it works. And in the plan, you have three things: purpose, audience, and format. Purpose, audience, and format. Fine. Now this is my plan. What is the purpose of this story, of this article? The purpose of this article is, okay, young people, about how far they should keep up with latest technology. Okay, so attitude of people. Talk about attitude of people towards new technology. And next thing you have to give about is about how far they should keep up with latest technology. So young people. Let's say how should young people now I'm going to show you how to write this. The first thing first is whenever you're writing something like this, our job is to first have ourselves a plan and the plan is done. The audience, who are the audience for this? Now since you're writing for teens, right? This is a magazine.
Teens, yeah, phone users,
Teenagers, okay, mobile or technology users, let's say
social
technology,
media.
social media users. You can also say parents because it's parents who are going to read articles about their children, right? Parents. Let's see. Now the format in this question is going to be about now all of these teens, technology users, social media users, except parents, are informal, and they are, let's say, informal, and they use some kinds of, let's say, phrases which are going to be informal phrases, right? Which the teenage can relate with. Because if you write something formal or something not which teenagers cannot relate with, then it will be less effective. Your writing will be less effective. The format for this is an article. Now, Rachit, are you writing a one-sided article or two-sided article? Do you know the difference between them?
Yeah, sir. So one side article is like you're writing for one side against it or in favor of it, and a two-sided is you're writing for against it also and favor of it also.
Right. So right now, I would prefer in the exam that you write a one-sided article. It's much easier to score mark, and you can show your skills a lot more. Now, one-sided article, the format for this is you need, let's say, 4 paragraphs. I think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 5 paragraphs. All right, and the first paragraph has to be. Now you'll not be writing this in this part in your plan, but all of this should be in your plan until here. I'm just giving a recap over the format is for the article. So first thing first, you have an intro. You have first argument. You have second argument. Finally, you have counter argument. And you have the conclusion. All right, now can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's continue. Now what's happening is, okay, we have this format, 5 paragraphs, intro, first argument, second argument, counter argument, conclusion. Let's start. Now, when we're writing this, okay, our purpose is this. Now, what points are you going to talk about over here? So what are you going to talk about? Let's give a few things we can talk about. So in the plan, we can say the first point, I want to talk about the attitude of people. What do you think is the attitude of people
Sir, I can't see you.
regarding that? Yes, Rachel.
Yeah. No, sir.
Okay, so what
Actually,
yeah.
your whiteboard was not. I could not see it, but now I can see it.
Now you can see it. Perfect. Now our job here is to see how people talk about how people have an attitude about technology. Now our job is, let's see. Okay, let's say people are, let's say, people find technology useful. That's one. There's another thing I can talk about is privacy issues. People, the attitude of people is that they are scared about privacy issues. So let's say worried about privacy issues. And third thing I could say is perhaps about technology is that always waiting or waiting for new stuff always, right? We're always waiting for new technology to show up. Or let's say always anticipating, waiting / anticipating. What is the meaning of anticipating? Rachel,
I don't know, sir.
I'll tell you. Write it in your notebook. The meaning of anticipating is, let's say, waiting, or let's say, looking forward to something. Okay, so looking forward to something. They are always looking forward for new technology. Write it in your notebook. Now you should also write the plan which I'm writing in your notebook, and for how young people should keep up with technology.
Sir, I'm
It's
writing
your
it
opinion.
currently.
Writing, all right. So opinion, your opinion. So you have to give now your opinion on how young people should keep up with technology. Let's say first thing first, I would say young people should well, they should look forward to it, but they should not buy it unless it is necessary, right? So don't buy new technology. That's what I'm saying. Unless necessary. Anything else you can give me a suggestion, Rachel? What do you think? How do you think people should, or young people should, keep up with technology? What do you think? Well, I'm saying that they should not buy new technology unless they need it, right? Unless it's necessary. Tell me.
Sir, I think that now times generations are like, if a new technology comes, they want to buy it, but I think they should put a stop to it, and they can do something else with the money that they're wasting.
All right.
Like now,
Yeah.
now at these times we say, now I'll take an example. Like 1 year ago, there was iPhone 13.
Oh yeah.
When
Tell me. Tell
this
me.
year the Apple released iPhone 14, people are like, I bought iPhone 13 last year only. Now I'm going to buy iPhone 14 in the next month. So it's like they're not using all the accessories properly, but it's like they just
Okay.
want to keep up with the technology.
All right. So that's another point.
Yeah.
That's amazing, right? That's good job. So what you're saying is don't waste money and put money into something useful. Second thing you said is people are not making full use of what they buy, right? Before they made use of iPhone 13, they already bought a new phone. So you should at least have, let's say, spend 2 or 3 years on one phone, and when that phone is done, you can just get a new phone, right? So people are not making full use of what they buy, and constantly getting something new. All right. Or let's say people are not making full what they buy and are wasting money. Now I want one more point from you. Can we talk about something other than money? Perhaps we can talk about security, we can talk about culture, something like that.
Let me think, sir. Sir, I don't think so. There is any other point that we can cover.
All right, I can let's see. I'll tell you. I'll tell you a few points here. And that's my job. The first thing I can say is people show off, right? And implications of showing off. Let's say implications of showing off. Or let's say people show off on social media. That's something you can talk about. When people buy something, they buy only for showing off, and so let's say show off on social media and negatively affect others. All right, let's say someone does not have the money to buy something, and you bought it first, all right, and then you're showing off on social media, and then others are thinking, okay, we should also buy it. So that's something people do. Now, what else can we talk about? Security in terms of security, new technology does not have, let's say, or new technology is when, let's say, when new technology is released, when new technology is released, it is still under testing. You know what this means? Read the fourth point, quick.
Yeah, sir. For when new technology is released, it is still under testing.
And not fully secure. So what this means is after someone releases it, let's say I released a new phone, and this is my phone here with 3 cameras, something like this. That looks awful. I just make one camera. That's my phone. Now what's happening is if I have a phone like this, okay, and there's a camera right here, and I purchase this phone. But the problem is, perhaps there could be some bugs inside it, some errors, some error that is only fixed after 1 year or after some years, after people start using it, right? So let's say new technology, let's say new technology, uh, when new technology is released, it still has some undiscovered errors. Okay, So when you buy something, it is not completely error free. And after some time, when people start using it, it gets more and more better. For example, if you had bought, let's say, iPhone 10, and now compare iPhone 13, there's such a big difference. iPhone 14 and iPhone 10 have such a big difference. And iPhone 14 is more secure than iPhone 10. So if you bought iPhone 10, then next year something more secure will come. So we should wait a little bit time before we buy it, and we should realize if it is completely secure. Now, this is what we're going to talk about. Now, our job is to organize the paragraphs. Let's first make an intro. In intro, we won't really talk about any of this. We'll just give a hint of all of this. Let's say the intro could be, we start with, we'll give it a title. Now, Rachit, what kind of title do you think I can give?
So is new technology suitable for young people?
Is new tech suitable for young people?
Or for today's youth?
For today's youth. All right. That's a title. How do I make it better? One thing is we need to have alliteration here, right? Newton, it doesn't really have alliteration. Let's say instead of new technology, let's say latest. The T is going to be repeating. Is latest technology suitable for today's youth or today's teenagers? Is that better? Look, so what's happening is this T over here, this T, this T, this T, this T, and this T, this T. So there's a repetition of T, which makes it more interesting. Is latest technology suitable for today's teenagers? All right. Or is, let's say, why latest technology is tempting for today's teenagers? Is that clear? Any questions here? Now we're asking a
No,
question.
sir.
Okay, we're asking the people a question. All right, let's say we can also make it better. Latest technology, colon, and we'll say, is it tempting for today's teenagers? Yep. Or this is. Now let's start with the first paragraph. First paragraph is, let's say, now how do I start in the first paragraph? In the first paragraph, we need to give a general overview of purpose. Of what? Of question and purpose. So the purpose I have is talk about attitude of people towards new technology and your opinion how people should keep up with with new technology. Fine, decide that. Now we'll say in today's world, in let's say in the today's world, today's generation, everyone is chasing the glory of new and stylish, let's say new and latest technology. So new, let's say new trending and latest technology. Fine. Technology connects billions together and allows the world to go around. But should we, let's say, buy everything new. Let's say every new technology. Should we buy every new technology, every new tech? Next thing is new technology has new features and allows teenagers to show off. Let's say to show off. However, is this the best? Let's say, give me a question, Rachit. Now I need two questions in the opening. So what should I ask?
So one could be, however, is this safe for teenagers as they are free with all the internet these days? One
All
question
right. So
could
new
be like
technology
this.
has new features and allows teenagers to show off,
Yeah.
or allows new teenagers to show off.
Like
However,
small teenagers would be unaware of some things that
are
are not
teenagers
eligible for them
safe?
or like that.
Let's just say, however, are these teenagers safe? Is that all right? So we're asking about should we buy every new technology, and are these teenagers safe? All right. That's what. Or let's say are these, or yep, that's it. Now we can add a few more things. Technology connects billions together into a web of connectivity and allows the world to go around. Fine, that's my introduction. Let's move on. Next paragraph. In the next paragraph, we can talk about, let's say, fine, and the next paragraph is the first argument. Okay. Now, what do you want the first argument? Our first paragraph should be all about the attitude of people. The first thing is people find technology useful. Second is privacy and always waiting for new technology. Fine. Let's continue. Now, in this one, we're going to say, firstly, let's bring the points here. Useful and okay. Firstly, if you are reading this, or let's say on a computer or mobile phone, then you may realize that technology is quite useful. Let's say quite intrinsic and useful. I say the same. Yet, with every new technology, people only tell. All right, Rachid. Now to continue from here, we look at the points people find useful. What do I say after this? Tell me. The next point is about privacy issue. So what should I say? Yet with every new technology, let's say the features only seem to get better. This is good. And Rachit, what else can I say about people and the use of technology? Examples. Now, I've given my opinion here that people find technology useful, and with every new technology, the features only seem to get better. This is good. Now, what else should I say? Any examples which you can give me?
So there are like many features in the technology these days. Like many have Bluetooth, Google
Okay, I can say.
Assistant,
Yeah, okay, perfect. One more.
and mobile data 4G, 5G,
5G. So I'll say, can you imagine your life without, what was the first thing you said? Bluetooth,
Bluetooth,
global assistant, or global, let's say, GPS
Goo-
navigation,
yeah, and
or
5G or
5G
data.
network, or mobile data, 4G mobile data, 4G mobile data. That's another question. Okay, can you imagine your life? Well, it would be, let's say, well, it would be quite difficult. Uh, quite difficult. However, these companies, these companies that run all these crucial and crucial day-to-day technologies are also have, let's say, have ulterior motives as well. What is the meaning of ulterior?
I don't know, sir.
It's actually ulterior. Write the meaning. What is the meaning of, let's say, okay, you should know that. Let's write the meaning of ulterior. The meaning of ulterior is like something like alternate. Okay, alternate or devious. Do you know the meaning of devious?
No, sir.
All right, I'll give you something. Uh, ulterior means intentionally hidden, write this meaning, and devious means uh, ill intended. Let's say devious means dishonest. That's it. Now, Rachit, finish writing the meanings.
Done, sir.
Now, read the last line over here.
Okay. These ulterior motives include spying on you, stealing your private data, and tracking all your actions.
Now, you may think all of these mean the same thing, don't they? All of these three things mean the same thing. Tracking your actions is the same thing as spying on you. Stealing your data is the same, private is same as spying on you, and tracking your actions. But the thing is, you have to write these in three, which is called a list of three, for giving let's say more emphasis on your opinion. Fine, list of three. Now, after this, let's continue. They are tracking all your data and selling them. Fine. Well, after this, let's write. We have this raises. This raises an important issue relating to privacy of the people and especially teenagers. Fine. Now these companies, these giant multinational empires, let's say conglomerates, have steal your data only for, let's say, data not for anyone's benefit, but their own. Any questions over here? What is the meaning of conglomerates?
Sure, I've heard this word many times, but I don't remember the meaning of this.
Alright, I'll tell you. The meaning of this is basically let's say, a mixture or a group of many, companies. Right? Any question?
No, sir.
Let's keep it like this. These giant conglomerates of multinational companies. Let's say billion-dollar companies. Multinational companies. I'm using so many adjectives. Giant conglomerates of billion-dollar multinational. So whenever we do something like this, we have to put a comma over here. Billion-dollar. When you use two adjectives, you must put a comma. Is that clear? Now, next thing after this is our job is to see we've written our first paragraph, benefit of their own. Okay. Now, what else do they know? They make. Okay, we'll give a research. Let's go put some research over here. Okay, based on a Cambridge University research. Or let's say this is cemented. This claim is cemented by the Cambridge University research citing over 47% of companies sell user data. Right? Any questions?
No, sir.
Fine. Now, next up, we talked about worried about privacy issues and find technology. Okay, right. Now, next thing, secondly, talk about how people should act then. Now, these are all the issues. Fine. But how should people act then? How should they act? We'll say, secondly, just a second. Okay, secondly, it is important to address, let's say, the countermeasures or the proper etiquettes of dealing with new technology. Poor etiquettes, address the poor etiquettes of teenagers keeping up with new technology. That's my thesis statement. Now, Rachit, what is this? What is the meaning of thesis statement? A thesis sentence. Do you know,
No, sir.
Rachit? Now, this thesis sentence, writing in your notebook, means a brief sentence that signifies what will be talked in the paragraph. Let's say what will be talked about in the paragraph. Is that clear? So whenever you start your paragraph, you should have a thesis sentence. Okay. A brief thesis sentence signifies what will be talked about in the paragraph. Now, from this, people will realize that, okay, I'm going to talk about the etiquettes. In the first paragraph, we realized that people think that it's useful, and however, that technology also has some problems. Have you written it?
None, sir.
Okay, let's see. Now I can change the first sentence here also a bit. If you're reading on a computer, you may realize that it's quite useful intrinsic. And I say the same. Yet with new every technology, the features only get better, and let's say and more, let's say scary, not scary. What is the other word for scary? But or get or and less, even less secure. But also even less. That's it. So this will tell us what are we talking about in the paragraph. We're also talking about security. So the person should know if we're talking about security. Fine. In the beginning of the paragraph, you should say something about that. So I said that okay, it gets even less secure. So we're talking about the usefulness, but we're also focusing on what foreshadowing what will come after this. Now, Rachit, I've written this much for you. I think the word limit here is 350 words, right? How much do you think we've written?
Sir, around
far?
150 or 100 to 150.
About 150. So the half the paragraph is now remaining. So I've not talked about any of this yet, right? I have not talked about the conclusion yet. So the second argument and the conclusion, that's your job now. Is that clear? Homework. Do you
Okay,
think this
sir.
is easier than Did I make this easier for you? Do you feel this is easier than when you started, or does it feel less terrifying of a question?
Sure, it is a bit easier now.
Right now, you know how to think about questions. And what else did you do in this class? But tell me. Recap.
Sir, I learned the meaning of ulterior, which is intentionally hidden, and devious means dishonest, and conglomerates a group of many companies. Sorry, and we got to know what is a thesis statement. A thesis statement is a brief, which signifies what will be talked about in the paragraph.
Paragraph. Now we know the basic things which we have to start with, linking with, right? Firstly, secondly, that's common sense now. Then we also should give some research evidence. You know that argument is equals to opinion plus reason plus evidence. I think that's obvious now. We have done this
Yes.
already. Now the next thing is that you remember all of this and answer the question on your own. I'll check it and I'll give you some comments. Fine, that's all for now. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye, sir.